What use is an F-call? From DC to daylight is a term that until I became an amateur I'd never heard of, and since becoming licensed I've bumped into it more than a couple of times. Once you sit and think about it, the notion, from DC to daylight, makes perfect sense. But what does it mean? I'll start off with that I'm not talking about cheap therapy for your inner problem child, the rock band based in San Jose, California. So, DC, or direct current, as opposed to AC or alternating current, does not change frequency. That is, the positive and negative poles never swap over. So the frequency that they switch at is 0 Hz, or 0 times a second. If you reverse the poles, the frequency at which you do that, say flick a switch once every second, the frequency is 1 Hz. AC does it at 50 or 60 times a second, or 50 or 60 Hz. As you keep increasing the frequency, you'll come past 160 meters, just below 2 MHz, 80 meters around 7 MHz, etc., onto 2 meters around 145 MHz, 70 SEMS, and up to Wi-Fi at 2.4 GHz, then 5.8 GHz, and eventually you'll get to a frequency of around 400 THz, where you'll bump into visible daylight, where the wavelength is around 750 nanometers. So, DC is 0 Hz, daylight is 400 terahertz, so from DC to daylight means from 0 Hz to 400 terahertz. Said in another way, DC to daylight means, quote, all frequencies, unquote. Of course, you could point out that there are frequencies above daylight. Indeed there are. It's really a shorthand term, and as amateur radio terms go, it's one of the more explanatory ones. Now all you need is a DC to daylight radio and you'll be able to listen to everything that goes on anywhere. Provided you have an appropriately tuned antenna. Hi. I'm sure there is terms that you've come across that make no sense. Have a look around, or better still, contact another amateur and work it out together. The only silly question is the one you didn't ask. I'm Onno, Victor Kilo 6, Foxtrot Lima Alpha Bravo.